All right. Woo! Well, hello.
What up?
Welcome to the Willow Hour.
Welcome in.
I'm here.
I'm here.
The Thweenies are here.
We're all
so
here
glad.
together. We're
Yes.
all here together.
It's another episode.
It's another.
Yep.
It's not another. It's another episode.
It's another episode, and it is also
Yes.
the last episode. We are putting to rest. It has been a ride,
Certainly.
and I'm glad we have done what we have done. But it's time.
Yeah.
This is going to be our last segment on harm.
Yeah. This is going to be our last segment on the spiritual journey in this deconstruction type of conversation. Yeah.
We will do like a rap.
Yeah, we're going to do a wrap next, but this will be the last informations and conversations about personal stories and stuff. And
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, this is it. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Celebrate with us in this moment.
Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah.
Did that look celebratory? No.
I don't know what celebration looks like, but I just felt,
I think we'll celebrate probably better in the next one.
Yes, you're right.
Because we're getting ready to talk about something, so I don't feel, maybe I'm not in the celebration spirit yet.
Yeah.
Your arm looked like you wanted to say something.
Oh, no. I
Okay.
just was like, you said, when I was like, yeah.
Okay, just shaking.
Yeah.
Shaking, not checking, but shaking.
Hi, Nico.
Today I know. Hey, Troy and Meek. I think today, I know. I was just thinking on, I think we're going to be talking about continuing the conversation from last week about sort of this idea of being a witness for Jesus, knowing your faith and being able to talk to other people and portray this life for Jesus. We really want to talk about all the offshoots of this scripture and how we internalized it, which is do everything as a representative of Jesus. And so that's really what we're going to center in on today and talk about kind of what that meant to us, how we internalize this message of do everything as a representative of Jesus, be a witness for Jesus, and the harm that it did, the whole nine. And that's going to be where we're going to really end this. Y'all, if there's one thing I'm going to do is slap this mic. Did I not in last episode go like this? This is worse. This is the worst slap I've done. It wobbled on the table. Wobble, baby, wobble.
Wibble. A
wobble. Oh, wibble, wobble, wibble, all the way. Exactly. So, sorry about that. Where was I even? Where was I even? I was saying that we is gonna talk about the harm that it did.
Yep.
And
it's gonna be the last one.
It's gonna be the last one. And we're gonna talk about it maybe in other ways in the future, and it's just gonna come up, and we're just gonna leave it here for now.
Yes.
We've given so much to chew on. We've had some deep conversations between us, and you know what? I'm actually gonna stop right now because we don't do long intros.
No, we don't. Okay, so we're gonna get into it. Shuvle always here. The Shuv is always here to support us. So just in case, if you ever are wondering, the shovel is here.
Yes.
Shovel is here.
I would like to hold the
Yes.
shovel for this last conversation.
I know.
Oh
The
my
shovel
gosh,
has
I remember
assisted us in digging.
I remember the day. I know. We have dug this thing. We need to have a ceremony.
I know.
Ceremony for Shuvle. For all the hard work.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Came on our first digging episode.
I know.
Oh.
I'm so glad that this Shuvle called me before I even knew.
Yes.
And I even knew. And I
did everything.
I heeded the call.
Yep.
I did everything in my power.
To make sure.
Because they wanted to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad. So.
They knew we needed them.
Yeah.
So.
And we did.
Mm-hmm.
And now we know.
Yep.
And we're all here together. Meek.
Nico.
Shuvle. Shuv. I like Shuv. The nickname Shuv.
Yep. Z.
Z. Hope.
So.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna crack a drink really quick. It's been a minute, y'all. Take you back to the beginning since we crickety cracked.
That's for y'all
Yeah.
who've seen the episodes of the drinkings. You know, I remember when you first told me, it's starting to feel sentimental.
Oh my gosh,
I remember when you were first like, oh, this
journey.
is Z's first time having this. How is she doing?
Yeah.
And I just remember every time I watched that back, I was
gosh.
like, that's a funny thing to ask.
That feels like, it feels like young us.
I know.
It feels like I'm really looking back in time. I mean, it's back, but you know what I mean?
I've literally aged like 8 years.
Yeah.
8 years.
So here we are. So yeah, we're going to talk about witness. It started off for me in elementary school when my witness was to be, really, it was to be good and to invite my friends to church. Like that was the OG witness experience for me. And it was emphasized to invite everybody possible to church. Like that is like, what could I do for Jesus? I could invite people to church.
Yep.
And that's, Christmas City, perfect opportunity.
Yes.
They was going to give me the cards. I didn't have to do any of the work. The cards were going to be handed to me. My sweater was going to be on my body. And I was going to be able to invite people to church. Mm-hmm. That was everything. That was my role. Jesus said, okay, invite everybody possible. And I said, yes. The focus was always getting more and more people into the building. Yes. That is it. Like, get these people into the building. Mm-hmm. We can, like, honestly take over from here. But can you bring us the people? Say, okay, I was to tell my friends about Jesus and invite them to church. Like, our church did so many community events. Like, it was always going to be a place that, like, it, like, hurts me to say this. It was always going to be a place that people could find a home, but it wasn't a safe place. But that's what we were to the community. Mm-hmm. That, like, we will pick you up to bring you here. We will be here for you. We will provide food. Mm-hmm. We will come into your community and do X, Y, or Z. And it just really looked like we were meeting a need. Mm-hmm. And if we did meet a need, it was only to get people into the door. It was only to be like, hey, we met your need, and then ask you if you want to repent and accept Jesus. Boom. The manipulation is this. There is incredible. I'm not even going to get into it today, but I'm just like, there is incredible amounts of manipulation that goes into being a representative of Jesus Christ. You actually cannot be without manipulating yourself and other people. It's just, you feel like it's like you're just like being caring and you're like, this is how I'm just connecting with this person. Mm-hmm. But no one consents to what Christians give. So that's the big one. I'm just gonna really actually leave it there.
Yeah, my jaw was like, yep.
Yeah.
That's on brand.
Yep.
I don't want to get into the brand of that.
Yeah. So I started to take a bit more of an active role and, just like talking to friends about Jesus. Y'all know it was me who was asking my friend in 7th grade if they wanted to go to heaven and how they planned on getting there, if they was not a Christian. But I really felt like it was like I needed to give like real words to this. It's not enough to just like invite people to church. Like I need to have maybe some like real conversations. And as I got older, I really started to look at my life like it was supposed to be a testimony of the truth and goodness of Jesus Christ. Like,
I didn't want to interrupt you with a crack like that. Please.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, it wouldn't even give what I wanted it to give. I apologize to everybody.
Nah, it's all right.
I wish I had something heavier to just...
Yep.
Go ahead. Use a testimony.
A testimony.
Testimony.
A testimony.
Like we're in court.
Yep. A testimony of the truth and goodness of Jesus Christ. Cue major pressure. I really believed I, Hope, was a representative of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, the Savior of the world, the only begotten Son. I took to heart that I was Jesus here on earth, the hands and feet of the only begotten Son. When people see me, they see Jesus. Everything I do is either drawing people towards or leading them away from God. I mentioned before how I believed that anyone who I was sinning with or like witnessed me sinning, like I was dragging them to hell. Yeah. I was responsible for their eternity. So like, it's just me. Like it's on me. I'm out here everywhere I go. I'm telling you, from the grocery store to like the time that I spend, the place that I spend 6 to 8 hours a day, like representative of Jesus Christ. And if I am not if I am not actively condemning sin and actively supporting this, like it's just, I'm not doing what I should be doing.
Yeah.
And the consequences are dire though. It's not just like, oh yeah, like you could have done better. No, like this is actually really fucking huge. Your life is evangelism.
Yeah.
Everything is about you. The way you act, talk, think, dress, move your fucking arm. Everything is evangelism. You are representative of the God of the universe. Everything you do is under a microscope. The amount of judgment from other people when you live this way is just astronomical, because it's like real and like perceived judgment.
Yeah.
Like there's actual real judgment happening, and then you're also just like it's like hypervigilance.
Yeah.
Because you're like preparing for any judgment that might come from anything that you do. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
like fuck, I gotta get my shit together. I feel like there are also like people waiting for you to slip almost. Like I feel like people are like waiting. I don't know, not people. Like I feel like honestly other Christians are like waiting for you to like, I don't know. I just feel like Christians love to call other people or like talk. I don't know, like, did you see like what that person was doing? Like, oh, did you see how they said that? Or like, if I remember there was this one coworker that I had when I worked in college admissions, and she was also Christian at the time. And I felt that like I was never Christian enough for her. Like I didn't match up to her level of like Christianity, and like she was doing rep right. And here I am just like not.
Wow.
And I don't know, I'm just like, I felt like a lot of people were just like waiting for you to be like, or like you could just be like outcasted so easily.
Yeah, because you know how the conversations go when you do something. So in a sense, even though the people themselves aren't waiting, you know that the minute you do it, they are going to
catch
pounce.
it. Yes,
they're gonna
exactly.
pounce.
Because you've been in those conversations.
Yes.
You've heard people come to you and be like, you heard,
Yeah.
you heard
Exactly. Yes.
Did you see what she did?
Yeah.
I heard.
Yes.
And you're like, fuck. If that's me,
Yeah.
they're gonna eat my shit up. They're gonna go to town. They're gonna have a whole fucking.
It's gonna be it's gonna
platter.
be a fun moment for everybody.
It's so crazy because like gossip is just so like, and you know, like the church is just so anti-gossip, and I'm just like, we'll be the first to spread somebody's business and then to brand you by what happened to you. Now everybody knows, and now that is you.
It's like they say there's no hate like Christian love.
Yep.
There's no gossip like Christian judgment. I don't know.
Like
whatever.
Like Christian like common combo.
Chat.
Like
Yeah.
like, just
Christian
like
chatting. No
it's like
gossip.
you're like no, but like we're talking because it like you can
this
like,
is a meaningful conversation.
Yes.
We're like we're gonna pray for this person.
yeah, we're like trying to figure out what we're gonna do with them, and like they clearly need us.
Yes.
They
So we're gonna
justify the gossip by like this person needs us to talk about them. Yes. Going back, everybody's salvation's on your shoulders. Somebody else's eternity forever is hanging on your shoulders.
Yep.
It's suffocating. It's an unbearable weight, because your own eternity on your shoulders is enough. It's unbearable by itself. So to believe that you are a representative of any kind, as if like, first of all, I am worth nothing. I am worthless, low, cannot do anything, but also supposed to be the representative of the God of the universe.
by his grace.
Yes, by his grace.
Yeah.
But also, don't fuck up. Grace, but grace, no grace.
No, grace but no grace.
Yep.
Yep.
It really takes so much from you. Like you cannot be yourself. You cannot be yourself because you cannot slip up.
No.
You cannot slip up. You cannot afford to be yourself. If you be yourself too much, you know for sure you let something go that you shouldn't have let go. Like you weren't thinking about everything.
Yeah.
You inevitably become like, I guess I am going to talk about this. I totally forgot when I was putting my notes together. Like you just become a fake person, like it's not even like fake of like, oh, she's fake over there, but like just like not a real person. Like it strips you of your personhood, your humanity, like just what makes you.
Yeah.
You become not real. Like I mean, the only way to exist within Christianity is to literally dehumanize yourself as much as you possibly can, and then dehumanize other people. You cannot be yourself. The self is not welcomed. The self is not welcomed. Nobody is interested in you. And if they are interested in any like special gifting or calling you have on your life, it's only to serve other people to serve the greater purpose. Nobody actually cares about you. The self is useless. The self is evil.
Yeah, what is the self even?
Self cannot be trusted.
No.
Self is flesh. Self is sinful. Throw out self. Absorb Spirit of God.
Yes, we talked about this.
Yep. Download Jesus person into your being, and then spit it out to everyone you encounter. Especially, I mean, like the lost. The lost, they just need you.
The lost.
The lost are, honestly, they are
lost.
They are dying every day,
Yes. Perishing.
waiting for what you are holding.
They're lost.
Yes, lost.
They need to be singing I am found.
You are found. So now go found the lost, so that they can found too. They can sing Amazing Grace. I don't know. You become, I guess that's it. You become manipulative as fuck. Because everything is evangelism.
Yes.
You are taking in every person as a lost. You are listening to them talk. You're opening your ear. You are scrutinizing every word. And you are calculating how you're going to respond in a way that is going to lead them to the truth of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Everything is like a deposit of truth. You hear this person say this thing, you're just like, I'm going to put that thing there. You're thinking. You might even be talking to your other friends about how you are going to lead this person. Now you feel like it is your goal to steer other people. Because God, I guess, has called you to be this to this person.
No, sorry. That actually angers me so much because I know how much I did it and how much we aided each other. Not you necessarily, I'm saying like as Christians, how much we aided each other in that behavior right there.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I know I had a conversation with this person and like, you know, we talked about this and I really tried to tell them that like, this is the situation. They're like, you know, that's really great that you're encouraging them. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the type of fucking conversation where we're just like, we're literally, I'm having a day where I'm struggling actually for words a lot because that I feel that like that it I don't even know, man. This is like a visceral feeling of just like I hate that we did that. I abhor that we did that. I not just me. I abhor that I did it.
Yes.
I abhor that this entire system that's what it is taking in people and doing this thing where you're just like I hear this thing that they said and I'm gonna say that. And it's like all this fucking calculations and shit. I can't
You cannot just be there. There's actually no true relationship that you are in with. Even the thing is, this goes for the lost and also for your fellow Christian, your fellow brother or sister.
Yeah. Brother or sister.
Obviously, this goes for the people who do not know Jesus as their Lord and Savior. You cannot be yourself with them. You cannot show up as yourself in any way, because if you show up as yourself, that might give them the wrong idea that like sin is okay. So like if you just cannot show up as yourself.
Pretend you don't have sin. Sorry.
But even with the people who also believe exactly what you believe, you also still cannot show up as yourself. You cannot be self anywhere. Self is never welcomed, never acceptable. It's never okay.
Not even by yourself.
No, exactly. No, that's what, even, it's good though, when by yourself, you can't even let yourself do the things that you want to do or that you feel like you stop yourself in every single way. And I'm like, no, who knew me? Who knew me in the church?
How could they? No, I didn't know me.
No,
sorry, I can need to stop doing that.
No, you're.
I really want to speak in your ear, my friend.
Hey, speak.
Dwayne, this is for you.
Yes,
I love you.
Speak in their ear. But yeah, no, you couldn't even. What real relationships did I even have with any of them? Who actually knew anything about me? Everything is just performance everywhere. While you think you are honestly doing like a really genuine work. Like that's why like when you were saying like this is just because you do not believe that you are being manipulative. You do not believe that you are being disingenuous. You believe that this is actually what you have to do, what you're called to do, the thing that is going to save people for all of eternity. You believe that literally stripping, you're removing yourself as much as you can is a holy work. This is good work. This work matters, and I don't. This work is the only thing that matters. Me as a representative is the only hope that should exist. I am a vessel. I'm a vessel. I am a vessel. For me to believe that I'm anything other than to be used by God is foolish. Foolish, selfish. I must think so highly of myself if I believe that I can be anything other than this vessel. That I can make any personal decision for my life that is not what God has decided for me. I was literally not a real person. Like I am sad because I met some amazing people between like 2017 and 2020. But if you met me, you didn't meet me. Mm-hmm. I could not be me. And I was plagued by it every single day, but there was no other option. There was no other option. It was like not be me or like leave the faith. And like leaving the faith was never option because Jesus is reality. Mm-hmm. To believe in God is to believe in reality. To not believe in God is to deny reality. So therefore, I guess I'm dead. It makes me so sad, especially because I just met. I will never be able to live in California again, but like I don't have plans of moving back. And there were just people that I wish I could have let myself, like I wish I would have let them get to know me so much more. And then I also wish that I could have taken them for who they were, who they are. Yeah. I wish I could have just loved them. I really did. I thought I loved people so deeply. Yeah. And I could not accept anyone for who they were. It was a tireless effort for me to be better and for me to better everybody else in my life. There's no time to actually really sit and be with another person when everything is a job. Everything, there's a goal, you cannot just experience a person. Mm-mm. And to be thinking so much like about somebody else's life and somebody else's decisions and what you're going to do and how you're going to respond and what, like, I just missed out on so many chances to love so many beautiful people. Coworkers, lifelong friends. I'm so great, you know who you are, and I am so glad that you took me for the whatever that was back then, and you stood long enough to for me to be here. So anyways,
I feel like there were so many things that you said that really I felt so like I was ready to say something, but I was like, I'm gonna do the time the way that I'm gonna get to it when I get to it, instead of, because I feel like just letting you guys know, I'm neurodivergent, so like I be interrupted and it's hard for me. So like if that bothers you, struggle with it by yourself, because I'm working on it, and that's something that it's me. I don't know what else to say about it. There it is. Yeah. I mean, so I just, sometimes I have to decide that I'm just like, I'm gonna wait on that one, because I've interjected 4 times. But sometimes you got to talk about what you're doing while you're doing it as well. Yeah. And I think that's a really nice thing that more people could do. Like what I'm doing right now. I wish I could do it with more people where they aren't going to be like, no, you don't have to worry about it. Oh my gosh, no, it's fine. No, I didn't even notice. And I'm just like, can you just
let me?
Yeah, just let me say it. Like, I want to respect you. I don't want to interrupt you. So I got some issues with impulse control.
So you're just working.
I'm trying to balance it. I'm trying to balance it. You should speak. So anyway, thank you for that perfect little moment about impulse control. There were so many things that you were saying. And,
I know. I'm like, wow.
Are we gonna keep that in? I don't know. I love it. Yeah, there were so many. Oh my gosh. So yeah, when you were like, invite people to church. Mm-hmm. Invite people to church. Invite people to church. That was I was gonna say that was a really big thing with like the church that I grew up in, but like obviously it's a big thing everywhere, because why wouldn't you invite people to church? Like I was making deals with people. Like, sorry, I should have waited. I was making deals like, oh, like come to church with me then.
Yes.
And we'll do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, not like a lot of people, but like, I remember specific moments where I was like, I will make a deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you come to church with me, we could do that.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird, but I was young. I was a kid. You know, it wasn't like I was doing it when I was like last year, you know. But I mean, I wasn't a kid. I was just young. And yeah, so invite people to church. In middle school, like I definitely, even though I wasn't being like, I wasn't actively being this like devout Christian, you know, I wasn't saved technically, so I couldn't be saved at that point. But I was thinking about like, how was I interacting with my classmates, you know, like how am I like being an example maybe of like what's the right thing. So that's what I say, like even though I wasn't like gung-ho for Jesus, which I don't know what that means, so I'm gonna take that back. Even though I wasn't all in, no, that's a gambling reference. Anyway, even though
I'm all in.
That's all I thought, all in. Even though I wasn't like a Christian, let's put it that way. Even though I wasn't a Christian, I was still seeing the binary of like right and wrong. So like, am I being a good example? Am I doing right in front of people? Am I really just being a good person, but like in a moral sense, not in like a, not just like a, you know, I want to be a good person, I want to be kind and loving towards people. No, it's like, am I being a good person so that other people can see me being a good person and that I'm not being a bad example to anybody? You know, I have a younger sibling. I gotta like, I gotta be a good example to like anybody that I could be an example to. I need to be an example to them. I got little cousins. I gotta be an example.
Yes.
You know? It didn't affect me too much in high school because I was like, you know, I was doing me. I decided and I was doing it. But I started learning that like, even if you do something wrong in private, you should still apologize. Like that was something that was instilled in me. Like that was integrity. So yes.
Integrity.
So like if I like said something about you behind your back, which I'm not saying there's like, it's absolutely wrong to think this way, but it will like, then it starts to plague you. If I said something, I need to now go to you. So it's like almost like, when do I know when I need to go to someone or when I just need to repent?
Yes.
So then every time you're like, should I go talk to them about what I did that time? Oh, I said something. Should I have said something different? Or I don't know. It's like confession, but it's like, but it's like witness. Like I actually remember when we were only a few years ago, there was someone who had done something or like they talked to us about something. And I guess they said a mistruth or they like stretched something or like made it seem like something was what it wasn't. And they came back and apologized. And I felt the same way that I felt when I was being taught that as a kid. I was just like, it's okay. I think this is a fine thing to do if you feel like you need to do that. And I love the idea of it, but there's also just like, you don't have to do that. Like I don't like it in the sense where it's like a moral obligation.
Right.
And like, you cannot call yourself a person of integrity if you don't bring the darkness into light.
Yes.
If you don't witness that. Yeah. And also if you don't show that you're a person of integrity, then you can't then be a good witness because behind the scenes you're being bad and then you're pretending like you're not. So you need to be humble and go apologize to that person because you told them something and they need to know. Like I don't know.
No. God, no. I feel like you're saying so much right there because I remember learning about integrity and I learned it the first time through church. Like I didn't, I didn't learn any, I guess they talked about it in other places, but like I learned it through church and I really feel like it distorted and like ruined what like integrity is.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to have integrity. I wanted to be consistent. I wanted what was here when nobody could see was there.
Yes.
But like it was so distorted because also it wasn't just am I like same here and here. It was also God.
Yes.
It's not just me. It's God here.
Yes.
In this solo. And I'm like I feel like that's when I felt like the stacking, like all of these things that were done in the darkness. I really believed that like I had to tell someone, but also believed that I could never tell anyone. And I feel like that is when that shit really became a monster, a beast of its own. It's like I have this fucking giant walk-in closet of like darkness, of shit that I did by myself or that nobody knows about.
Yeah.
And it's untold.
Yeah.
And like I will never, there's no moving on because God always knows. And like, what the fuck do I do with it? Do I tell someone? Like, I don't know. I'm just like, I feel like it ruined integrity for me.
Yeah.
It really did. Because I really desired to just be true.
Yes. Once that's instilled in you, it chains you to feel like unless, the thing is, you can never be perfect, but it makes you feel like you actually can never say that you have integrity unless you have reached the perfection standard.
Yes, exactly.
And like, to ever believe that you could be anything, to be a good person, called as a good person, if you're not doing the work to show that your integrity, the thing is, you have to look bad in front of people in order to be a good person.
Yep.
You have bad.
Yep.
Because it's ultimately good.
Yep. Oh.
And that's how you be a witness, because you show other people that the right thing to do is to go and apologize for something you did in private, or that they don't know about, or that you need to fess up, or whatever. You know, I don't know. I don't have any examples really, but that's just, you know what I mean? Like, go apologize for something that someone didn't know that you did, basically. And that's how you show that, like, we're I don't like to use this word, but like countercultural. Know that we are going to do the thing that like nobody else wants to do. Nobody else wants to fess up that they did something that nobody knows that they did, but that's what we're going to do. And that's going to show. That's the witness part. That's going to show what we're really about over here. That's going to give glory to God. Not only that you are in line, but also that you are showing other people what true in-lineness looks like. It looks shameful. It looks bad. It looks foolish to go and apologize to someone who doesn't even know that you lied.
Yep.
But go do that.
Yes. Because, oh my God.
Yeah. So apologizing shows that you have integrity, and that's something I learned very young. So that's the witness. Do everything as a representative of Jesus. That's what Jesus, he wouldn't do it because he's perfect, but do it as a representation of the ideals that he stands by, which is truth. And I know when you said testimony, I just wrote puke. Yeah. Because I have just a very specific memory of like my testimony some years ago, and it haunts me till this day because it gave nothing, and I hated every aspect of it, and I wish it never happened. Giving my testimony essentially is just like talking about how Jesus like changed my life, how I became a Christian, and like what I came from, what I am, and like basically like what my story in a nutshell is. That's gonna give glory to God as like how he has changed my life. Puke. Anyways, so basically it got more serious. I'm gonna skip to college because it didn't do much to high school, but I was doing my thing. Obviously, that's when I sold my soul for legitimate, like for the eternity.
Yep.
And this thing that we used to say a lot was like eternal significance. Everything has eternal significance. Did you say that already? I feel like you had said it, but eternal significance. That is the most important thing. Do things that have eternal significance. So talk to people in ways that will have eternal significance.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I had to be the most upstanding person possible because that is going to show something. I had to not let anyone see me doing wrong. Like you were saying before, that's what I'm saying. There were so many things you were saying. Like I had to make sure that like no one could see me doing wrong. And if I did wrong, I needed anyone who I might want to influence to know that I regret that wrong and I repent from it. Anything that I could do basically could tarnish me for another person. So like if I'm out here being a representative of Jesus and I did something, they're now going to be tarnished for Jesus, because they're going to be like, why would I follow Jesus when you're like that? You did that and you're a follower of Jesus. So this is so funny because so many Christians are like, so many bad Christians out there give Christians a bad name, like they're the bad ones. They're the rotten eggs and they're giving us a bad name. But it's like, what? They're giving us a bad name. That's how it is. So you're hyper vigilant about like, you don't want to be the Christian that's giving Christians a bad name.
Yep. You want to be the right Christian.
Yeah, the Christian,
the right thing.
The right
You're
thing.
the one saying that I'm not one of them.
Yeah, as if, but you are.
Yep.
But like the thing is, like I truly believed I wasn't one of them, but I was one of them.
It was like oh my gosh, that is such a part of being a rep, because it was also like I felt like it was. I wanted to be that one. I wanted to be that one Christian that
you'd be like,
other
I didn't know
Christians met and was like,
wow, I didn't know Christians could be like that.
I'm like, I am not.
Yeah, I'm not one of those.
Nope, I'm not like the others.
I'm different.
Yep, the others, I wouldn't even call them.
Yeah, I'm not like other girls.
Real. Yeah. Nope, I'm not one of them.
I'm not like other moms. I'm a cool mom.
Yes. I'm a cool Christian, seriously. I'm cool.
Yeah.
I want you to know Jesus, but I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm down, but I'm not down.
And just a little tidbit, my dad, as I said before, the church that I grew up in, it was very intellectual, So there was a tense pressure to know what the Bible, know the Bible critically and spiritually. So like know it factually, know the history, know the and then also know it spiritually. Have stories, have references, have metaphors for days. Oh, the parables, the metaphors. Jesus spoke in metaphors. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a constant simile, metaphor, just absolute, just woo, you know. It's giving woo.
Yeah.
You need to have words. And shame for not knowing something. Like when you said about like someone said they mentioned Nehemiah and you're like, oh, shame. Because now you're showing that like the Christian, you can call yourself a Christian and not know the Bible. You can call yourself a Christian and not know the Bible. Like you don't know this story? You never read that chapter? You don't have like an experience where you read that chapter and God told you something? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Fuck the way you just literally okay. You that wow. I mean, go back and watch it again.
I guess they're doing that out here. Wow. Yeah. You know, I guess it takes all kinds. Yeah. You know, the hand can't say to the foot, I don't need you, so. I can't even. You know, friends, we here.
Yeah.
And we queer.
Oh! I love that shit.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. I want to say the harm. Yeah. Intense self-control and self-scrutiny. Yes. You touched a lot on this. I could never act on impulse. There was no, you know, I'm talking earlier about impulse control. I could never act on impulse. Like you said, don't be yourself. If you feel like you needed to, like, don't.
Yes.
Because what was the purpose behind it? What was the intention? Is it Christ honoring? Every action had to be calculated for the good or not good that it would do.
Yes.
Every word has to have weight, eternal significance. Mm-hmm. Self-control, self-scrutiny. People had to perceive me in a good light in order to consider Jesus as an option for them. As a necessary for them. I couldn't say anything, ever, unless I knew without a shadow of a doubt that it's supported by the Bible. Yes. In general, I couldn't say anything without a shadow of a doubt that I was going to say the right thing, too. Because, like, when everything has eternal significance, you really are weighing every single word that you're saying to other people. And I'm just saying, like you said, you're sitting there like, oh, what they said this, so I'm just going to say that. Mm-hmm. But it's just like, people probably thought I was a quiet chick. I was a quiet bitch. I ain't quiet.
Nope.
I certainly ain't.
Nope.
But it was because I was like, I was calculating. And also, I was scared of saying the wrong thing. Not only that I was lead people away from Jesus, but also that I would disappoint God. That God would be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's not true. Why would you say that? How dare you? Not how dare you, but like, how could you not? You need to spend more time getting to know me, with me. Because you don't know that. Not that you don't know, like, a piece of information, but, like, it's showing that you're not putting me first. Mm-hmm. So even now that I'm against it, that I'm out of it, it's hard to even, like, I guess I've sat here and talked for hours and hours about this stuff, but it's still hard to even sit and be able to say anything because, like, is it supported? Like, what is someone, there's this voice that you get. If you have lived for any significant amount of, or I don't know, insignificant, whatever, I can't even categorize. If you've lived an amount of time where this reached into your psyche and became your inner voice, that voice is hard to get rid of. Extremely. That voice telling you, like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Did you read that somewhere? Was that like, well, you know, like, can you hear the contradiction in what you're saying right now?
Is anybody able to say anything against what you're saying?
Someone, I already have the rebuttal though. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. That was one of the hardest things, is turning off the rebuttal. Turning off the rebuttal in my head, but I don't want to get too deeply into that. My 2020 word was a voice, because it started about hearing about his voice, and it ended about trusting my own. Because I nothing I ever thought could be shared unless it was biblical and verifiable, accepted by the group as well. Mm-hmm. If someone could poke a hole in your story, then you could be hurting your salvation and others. You know, remember that. Keep a close watch on how you live in your teaching, so you stay true for the sake of your salvation and the salvation of those who hear it. You save yourself and your hearers. Mm-hmm. The voice in my head was always criticizing me and stopping me from speaking.
Yes.
I could almost hear the counter argument. Almost. I could hear the counter argument, and I could never fully account for every counter argument.
No.
So that's why sitting here, I'm just like, what is the counter arguments that they're
Yep.
gonna say in the comments? What comments? What are they gonna think while they're watching it?
Yep.
It's just sad, you know. Like I put that voice in its place, and I say, you don't have control here. This was a fabricate. This was an indoctrination given to me.
Yeah.
This is not healthy.
No.
I can speak. I can be wrong. I can also just have my own opinion, and we can disagree. And we can talk about it. Like, it's just unhealthy to not be able to speak. But so many people, that's why so many Christians are doing social justice in the shadows, because you are afraid of not being accepted by the group. This is not accepted. Am I being a witness? Am I following the tradition that we're supposed to be following? Am I being a representative in this way and this way? There's so many consequences to how you act in front of everybody or anybody.
So many.
So everybody is just scared to speak, to act. Everything is just so slow and calculated. I was taught to believe that that was a good thing, though, you know?
Yeah.
That it was leading me to truth and convicting me of wrong thinking. I had to learn that no, it was not. It was not. And that's not going to change. It's just not.
Nope.
And it came to a point where there was almost like none of me left to express. There was none of me left. Like you said, there was nothing.
Yes.
What was I?
Yep.
But that's the goal, right? My identity is in Christ. And it sounds spiritual and honorable,
That's the goal.
but it's dehumanizing. There's none of me left. Because, of course, took up my cross, deny the self. It took away my personality, my individuality, my ability to live with my own personhood. And my private life was fair game, like we talked about. I need to have quiet times in order to say that I'm having quiet times. I need to read the Bible and have an answer to any criticism of Christianity, any question. My thoughts were restricted because everything is taboo, and I don't want to be covertly influenced by someone saying something and me thinking about it, or me even starting to think about it. Shut it off, turn it off, stop it. It's kind of funny. I had this story where a few years ago I ran into an ex, and before I was married, I ran into this ex, and I made it a point to apologize for our previous encounters, for not being a good witness for Jesus. Oh, I'm telling you. That was rough. That was rough ski. Rough ski. The fact that I did that, cringe. I make it a point not to cringe about myself, because I'm like, cringe culture, don't do that.
No.
But I'm just like, that is rough for me to think about the fact that I was like, I'm so sorry. And I've done that a few times where I'm like, I'm sorry about what I did. I wasn't being a good representative of Jesus. Like, I actually wrote those words in a text message and click send. I was like, I'm sorry. And that was wrong of me. And they were like, you don't need to apologize. And I was like, but I do. That's the weird stuff that this concept of being a witness makes you do.
Yep.
And I think I want to just kind of close on, basically what you said about friendships not being real. I could never condone anything. I could never talk joyfully about any topics that people were talking about, because I couldn't, either directly or indirectly condone anything sinful.
Yep.
Severely limited my expression in all ways. Like I said, you thought I was one thing. You never met me, like you said.
Yep.
I could never be honest about my experiences, like my past.
Yeah.
No one really knew me, like you said, because I didn't know myself. And I will tell you something that is very, very lonely. That's a lonely existence when your God is someone you've never seen, heard, or touched, but you are just bound to please them and bound to do their will, and that is your reality. That is your purpose, is to bring them glory. There's nothing left. There is nobody. Where is God? Where is God? Is God gonna? No, it's just me. And I have to turn every part of myself off in order to please this God.
Yes.
And I can't have friends because I can't be honest with them, and I can't be real with them, and I can't be myself. Who is myself? I need to turn myself off. That's the holy way to go. It's just lonely. And like you said, being neurodivergent is going to extremely exacerbate the ways that I internalize this message of doing everything as a representative.
Yep.
I tried to follow everything to the absolute letter. I was picking up on so many things, being hypervigilant, but also missing so much that was going on because I don't know what's going on socially.
Yep.
So it was disorienting. And overall, like, I'm still making sense of what that has been like. And I'm not going to get into the ableism of the whole thing. I hope that we will talk about it at some point, and let us know if that's something that you're interested in hearing. But just being neurodivergent, I just want to say that, like, that made it extremely hard because, first of all, I didn't know. And also, this system is not meant.
Absolutely not.
It's you got to be ables in all these ways.
Yep.
And if you're not, then buck up. Read your Bible more, pray more. You'll get there.
Buck up.
That's what I got.
Oof.
Yeah, there's lots on that, and yeah.
Damn, I don't know. I don't know. You just said so many things, and I just remember like when I was writing all of these notes, I was like, this is just really fucking sad, and it breaks my heart. And I had things that I prepared to say, but one thing that like really hit me was just like Christianity stole everything from me. I lost everything in this belief system, in this religion, in this way of life. I lost everything. I lost my voice, but I lost everything. I lost myself. I lost my interests, my giftings, whatever. I lost it all. I lost it all. Christianity took everything from me, and it continues to take from every single person who is still living under the weight of this ridiculous ass system. I wrote this thing, and I was like, I don't know, am I going to share it? But I'm just like, it took everything from me.
Yeah.
I had such a low view of myself. I hated myself. Hated. I thought I was shit and undeserving of life. I could never apologize to God enough. I could never do enough right to right all the wrong that I did. I was never enough. I could never be enough. I could never do enough. There was always work to be done. Nothing I did was even that significant. Even the biggest, most largest, most sacrificial thing I could do would pale in comparison to what Jesus did on the cross. My life was not worth living. In Christianity, I was at my lowest in every sense of the word. I was in the deepest depression, self-harming the most frequently, drinking the most, escaping the most. I was dying. My time wasn't my own. I could do nothing if it didn't have eternal significance. I carried an uncarryable amount of weight. My anxiety was crippling. My heart palpitations were high. I was dying. I was drowning. I was trying with everything inside of me and still feeling like nothing I could do would ever be noteworthy. I felt like a fraud every day. I felt like I was one decision away from hell at every moment. I felt the constant awareness of my sin and sinful nature. I was a slave. I was inhuman. I was not myself. I did not even know myself. I didn't know what I liked. I was lost. I lost everything. I was stripped of everything. I had nothing. I had no trust in myself. I believed my heart was evil and would lead me down the wrong path. I accepted abuse. I put myself in harm's way. I set myself up for failure. I sabotaged the good things in my life. I gave up things so God wouldn't take them away. I feared growing older, as it was a constant reminder of how many years I failed God. I denied myself of all my interests to the point where my personality was nothing. I lived in constant fear. I lived with the weight of constant guilt, constant shame, constant condemnation. I wasn't free. I was a slave. I was doomed from the start, and every attempt I made was futile. I was indoctrinated, I was brainwashed, I was susceptible, I was groomed, I was oppressed, I was abused, I was a slave. I have nothing else to say.
I don't have much either. I see that real quick. I carried an uncarryable amount of weight. I was lost. I was nothing. I had no trust in myself. I wasn't free. I hated myself. I could never apologize to God enough. I could never apologize to God enough, really. It was so early in what you said. And it rocked me because we've talked about this. The one thing that is most consistent in all of my prayer journaling starting every fucking goddamn entry. God, I'm so sorry for this.
Mm-hmm.
God, I'm
Always.
so sorry. Thank you. Thank you, God, for forgiving me.
Yep.
You are so good to me. You are kind and merciful. And every day you are just flooding me with your mercy and your grace. What a lie. Yet I believe I'm the fraud. What a lie. Why the fuck was I living in existence of apologies?
That was it. That was the way. There could be a handful of prayer journal entries that did not include half of it, at least. Me stomping myself into the ground, begging. I can't even talk to this God. How can I approach without beating myself down? So he knows that I know I'm shit.
Yeah, he should know that I know.
Yep.
Because I don't want him to ever think that I don't know how bad I'm doing against him.
Yep. And then I will maybe feel okay to accept his forgiveness.
What does that even look like?
Maybe I will feel like I didn't I don't fucking know. Because it's illogical and harmful and it does not make sense.
Yep. I said earlier that not devil's advocate, but that counter argument in your mind begins. And here I feel it. And part of me says, don't give that shit weight. And part of me says, talk about it. Talk into it. And I'm going to give a little bit. The idea that this God is about love and grace, it's like, you weren't accepting the grace of God. And I wanted to talk about that earlier, so I'm glad we're talking about it now because...
Fuck that.
You weren't accepting the grace of God. Like, that's actually not God. So it's me. And is that not the perfect example of exactly what the fuck I'm talking about?
Yep. Exactly.
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 So not only... So, I'm actually crying too much. I'm not accepting your grace, God. Now help me practice accepting your grace.
Yep. Fuck!
Yeah. If it's all right, I want to say just thank you for being here for this season.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, is there anything you want to add to this? I'm feeling a close, but
yeah. I mean...
Wow.
I don't know. I'm like the harm. This isn't to like, I don't know. It's not I don't know. I'm trying to find what I'm trying to say. Like this, we didn't come out here to be like, you're fucking da 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 da, or like,
oh my gosh,
don't do this, or I can't believe you believe that, and just I'm like, no. This took everything, and the fact that we are still standing and that is why we're here, because we're here, and we have done so much of reclaiming our lives and getting in touch with ourselves and trusting ourselves and living this fucking beautiful life to the fullest. It is not an attack on anyone. It is just telling shit for what it was and what it is.
Yeah. This is our experiences. We always say that, right? So we tried not to do long intros for the last couple, as we could, but I guess it's going to be a long outro because it's the last, that we're going to talk about. I mean, we're going to talk about the season, but I want to say what you just said is, like what I thought when you said, I was just like, this is a labor of love. It's labor, but it's a labor of love. And I finally I've never been in labor, but I get that phrase because right now I'm like, love. This entire season is love for me, love for us, love for the life that we started together as friends in this cognitive dissonance, confusion, and just didn't even know how indoctrinated we were by that point already when we met, and didn't know what our whole journey was going to entail. But like, love for that version of myself, love for me today, love for you today, love for us today, love for the work that I did to get here, love for everybody who is struggling and all this shit.
A labor of love.
This it's about love for me, because this is hard. This is hard shit, and I do it because it's so important that like talking about hard things matters, and like it hurts, but this is the work I had to do. I had to do work to get where I was, and then I had to do work to talk about everything that I went through. And I don't know, I guess that's just kind of what I came to. I'm like, you said you hated yourself, and I hated myself. Self-loathing is the highest in that time, because you are nothing, but I love me now, and I want to demonstrate that love as much as I can.
Yes.
And I want to grow in that love. That's super important. And, I know that's like a popular thing, I don't even want to give that credence, actually. No. I love me, and I should love me. That's a good thing. And I love it. Yeah. And I love it. I love that I love me, and I love that we are loving each other, and that we are loving ourselves, and that we love you. We really do. And we're here to just celebrate that, and we're here to experience it moment by moment and talk about life. And I'm so glad that we did that, and I'm so glad that I know this was a heavy one.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to be as heavy as it was, or to be as wild as it felt, but I feel really good about telling my story, telling it with you, and telling it with you.
I know.
Talking, it's a combo.
It's been a ride, and I know we're going to talk about it.
No, I know. We are actually probably giving it too much at this point.
I know. It's just been a ride, and we have been here for every part of it, and we want to be here. Yeah. But it has been a ride, and I just echo, I love myself. Yes. I have never felt so good about myself in my entire life. I know. And man, I want everybody to have that. And
I'm excited for how much more.
Yep.
I got journey ahead of me. So my love just multiplying and growing, and it's gonna be gorgeous. Yep. Gorgeous. It is growing into like the fucking most beautiful shit I've ever seen. And I can't wait.
Woo! It's given life.
Yes. So thank you for being here. We love you. You love you.
Yep. Please.
You are loved.
Yes.
And
you are worth investing in.
Yes.
You are worth every minute of your
through
time.
And through.
Yes. Claim your motherfucking tween status.
Yes.
Here. A crown.
Beautiful.
Dubbed.
Tween.
Yep.
Thank you, Shuvlai.
Thank you, Neek.
Thank you, Troy and Meek. Meek. Yep. Sorry. Neek is Neek and Meek. All right.
Yep. I'll see ya. I'm gonna put the Cash App handle right here, because pay us. I kid. I love you, and I will see you when I see you.